Be seated. The record will show the presence of the jury, the defendant, and all counsel. Mr. Martinez, you may continue with redirect.
Your name, sir?
Esteban Flores?
And you were the person testifying before lunch, correct?
Yes.
Please take a look at Exhibit 275. Are you familiar with that? Yes or no?
Yes, I am.
And with regard to that item, is that the, well, what is it, first of all?
It's a copy of instant message emails sent back and forth between Jodi Arias and Travis Alexander.
And you were asked previously on cross-examination about this reference to a three-hole wonder, correct?
Yes.
Is that the document that contains that reference?
Yes, it is.
With regard to that reference involving that particular comment, why was that comment made as indicated in that document?
Objection calls for speculation.
Sustained as phrased.
Well, let's go to page 8 at the bottom. What is he complaining about?
What page was that again, sir?
8 at the bottom. Four lines from the bottom.
References to being used sexually by Miss Arias.
What is he saying?
Specifically, let me read it from here. I think I was little more than a dildo with a heartbeat to you.
And that's what he's saying to her, right?
Yes.
In the previous pages, pages 1 and 2 and 3, do they talk about whether or not to tell the truth?
Yes.
I'm going to object, Your Honor. This goes beyond answering the questions posed and cross.
Mr. Martinez?
It's part of the same document, and it's part of the reason why he's calling what he's calling her.
There's no link, Judge. I mean, he's had to speculate on the link.
Counsel approach and bring the transcript, please.
Starts with Facebook.
Yes, just read it though.
Okay. Me.
No, read it to yourself.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted me to read it out loud. Okay.
And in terms of the reference to the three-hole wonder, it's toward the bottom, correct?
Yes.
Go ahead and read the next page, which is 4 of 16, to yourself.
Okay.
What is the context of that comment?
The context throughout those 2 pages is Travis Alexander and Jodi Arias are having a conversation, and Travis is complaining about her lying to him.
All right. Sir, you were asked about some fibers, and these are set out in exhibits numbers 265 through 271. Do you remember those? And I'll start with 265, for example.
Yes.
First of all, you see the scale on there, right? This is exhibit number 265.
Yes.
And what is that word there?
It says metric.
And with regard to these spaces in between, in terms of the metric scale, what are they? Centimeters, millimeters, kilometers, what are they?
The large section
No,
is
this.
the small ones, millimeters.
And how many millimeters are there in an inch?
Approximately 25.
It's a little bit more than 25,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
How much?
Well, there's 2.4 centimeters in an inch, and then there's 10.
So it's 2.54 or 2?
Yeah, 2.54.
So you're talking 25.4 millimeters to an inch, right?
Yes.
And so that will tell us, for example, by looking at this, by counting out 25 millimeters, how much an inch is, right?
Yes.
With regard to those particular items there, can you tell whether or not this really is a piece of a rope?
It looks more like a small thread.
And if you take a look at exhibits 63 and 81, take a look at those, first of all.
Yes.
Do you recognize those?
Yes.
What are those photographs of?
Photographs of the interior of Travis Alexander's house, more in particular his bedroom and part of the bathroom near the shower.
And were those taken back at the time of the investigation of the crime in June of 2008?
Yes.
I move for the admission of exhibit 63 and 81.
No objection.
Exhibit 63 and 81 will be admitted.
at Exhibit 63. What are we looking at here?
A photograph of Travis Alexander's bedroom.
And specifically, what is this item here?
Those are throw pillows,
And what's around the corners of those throw pillows?
tassel-like fibers.
Those tassel-like fibers, if we take a look at exhibit number 265, you were there. Can you tell us whether or not they're similar to those?
Yes, they are.
And let me show you another exhibit. It's exhibit number 271. You see this that's on there? This item here, you see that?
Yes, I do.
Take a look at exhibits numbers 64 and 68.
Okay.
Those are photographs. Are they true and accurate depictions of an area and an item from the scene as it existed back when the investigation was being conducted in June of 2008?
Yes, they are.
Move to the admission of exhibits 64 and 68.
No objection, Your Honor.
Exhibit 64 and Exhibit 68 will be admitted.
This is exhibit 64. And orient us a little bit. What are we looking at here?
Looking at the interior of Travis Alexander's bedroom, looking from just behind the entry door. You can actually see the door on the right-hand side, door handle. And you're looking, what direction? Kind of like a northeast direction into the bedroom.
What does this door lead to?
That one is actually to the closet that parallels the hallway into the bathroom.
And exhibit number, and there is something in the middle here, this photograph, the first one, 264, correct? Right there?
Yes, the sandals.
Okay. Then if we take a look at exhibit 68, that's a close-up of what?
The sandals in the middle of the room.
And with regard to these sandals, do they have any covering on them where a person would step?
Yes, full of fibers.
And you see this right here, what is this, these items that are sticking out from around the sandals?
Those are the actual fibers that the sandals are covered with.
And then if we take a look at exhibit number 271, what is that? In your opinion, could that be, is that consistent with having come from those shoes?
Yes, it is consistent.
In looking through this whole house, was there ever a rope that was found?
No.
So if there had been a rope there, and you didn't find it, what would have happened to the rope?
Objection calls for speculation. It's beyond the scope of cross.
Overruled.
We would have taken it.
I know, but if it wasn't there, would you have taken it?
No.
If somebody had taken it before you, would you have taken it?
No, I couldn't have.
But did you find any long lengths of rope or anything like that when you were there?
No.
And did you find, for example, in exhibit 63, was that bedroom examined?
Yes, it was.
Was the area here around the bed examined?
Yes.
Was the area, exhibit number 64, was the area right around here examined?
Yes.
And I mean the lower portion. Was Did any officers look underneath the bed?
Yes,
Did they look behind the headboard?
yes,
Was there ever a knife found anywhere near there?
no,
Was there ever any rope found anywhere near there? In other words, any of these little strands that we're talking about, were any of those found anywhere near the bed?
no,
You talked about cordoning off the street and that sort of thing when you got there, and the house being cordoned off. Do you remember that?
yes, I do.
What's the purpose of that?
To secure the residents, to keep anybody from going in and disturbing any evidence.
So that from the time that the police received the call till the time the first police officer came, that meant that nobody had access to that place, correct?
That's correct.
And how long did you keep the scene open, or how long was the scene secured, so to speak?
Almost 3 days.
I don't have any other questions, thank you.
I have one question from a juror. Are there any other questions from the jury? If there are questions, ladies and gentlemen, raise your hand, and if you need some time to write it out, just let me know and we will wait for you. Counsel, please approach. All right, Detective, the juror has a question for you. Are the exhibits number 272, 273, and 274 from the same conversation?
What exhibits are those? Could I see them again?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Mr. Nerman, you may recross and follow up on the juror question if you have anything.
Thank you, Your Honor. A moment, please. Detective, do you still have exhibits up with you?
Yes.
And if I may approach, Your Honor.
Yes.
Detective, I'm going to well, actually, I'll tell you what, we will put up Exhibit 63. Again, Mr. Martinez showed you that just a minute ago. You recall seeing that?
Yes.
Okay. Based on the observations you made, and I believe what you told us was that this picture accurately depicts what you saw at the crime scene on June 9th and or June 10th. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And it would appear that those pillows are in an unmolested state. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. And you recall Mr. Martinez also asked you about a pair of sandals or flip-flops with some fibers on them, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Let me step back a bit. Mesa Police Department, how long have you been employed there?
19 years?
Okay, so you're pretty familiar with the practices and the procedures and those sort of things, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I suspect then, could you tell us whether Mesa Police Department has a crime lab?
Yes, we do.
Okay. And what sort of things does that crime lab do?
Everything from DNA typing, fingerprint analysis, blood work, those kinds of things.
Okay. So if they had known fibers, for example, from these pillows or from sandals or that sort of thing, they could compare that against items you found at the crime scene, correct?
Our lab does not do that.
Okay. So you could there would be no way for you to compare?
We would have to send those out to another lab.
Okay. Was that done?
No.
Okay. So the estimation you're making that these are similar characteristics are just based on your observation, not any actual data or testing. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Martinez?
Those 3 exhibits or the 3 DVDs that you have in front of you, those were from the same conversation, correct?
Yes, they were.
What date was the conversation that you had of those 3 DVDs?
They were June 10th, 2008.
And who initiated that? In other words, I know you made the call, but were you returning a call?
I was returning a call, a message to call Jodi Arias back.
I don't have any other questions, thank you.
You may step down. The state may call its next witness.
State called Heather Connor.
Can you spell your first and last name, please?
Heather, Heater, Connor, Conner.
Raise your right hand. You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Please walk right around and have a seat. You may proceed.
May I have your name, please?
Yes, my name is Heather Connor.
Who do you work for?
I work for the Mesa Police Department.
And how long have you worked for the Mesa Police Department?
I was hired in September of 2004.
And what were your duties when you were initially hired?
When I was originally hired at the Mesa Police Department, I was hired as a crime scene technician. I was promoted in June of 2005 to latent print examiner.
And what kind of, do you have to have a degree for that sort of thing? What kind of experience did you have or education prior to being hired?
I hold a Bachelor of Science degree in anthropology and journalism. I have an Associate of Science degree in forensic technology.
And what were your duties back in June of 2008?
In June of 2008, I was a latent print examiner. Among my duties includes performing the comparative analysis of unknown finger and palm prints that are recovered from crime scenes and items of evidence to known subjects' prints. I also process evidence in the laboratory using various chemicals and powders, and I respond to major crime scenes. I take photographs, collect evidence, and process for latent prints.
With regard to this issue of latent fingerprints, what is a latent fingerprint?
A latent fingerprint is a chance impression. On the palmar sides of your hands and the soles of your feet, we have a specialized type of skin that's called friction ridge skin. It's very similar to corduroy in that there are peaks and valleys to that skin. And throughout the day, You can collect different materials on the surface of your skin, including oils from your face or hair, grease from the food that you eat, or other things throughout your day. And when you touch a surface, you can leave an impression of the arrangement of friction ridges on your hands or palms onto that surface.
So as I understand what you're saying is that these impressions that are left behind, well, let me ask it this way. Are they left behind every single time that a person, for example, touches a surface like I'm doing here on this podium?
No, there are many reasons a print may or may not be left behind.
Well, does environment have anything to do with whether or not this impression is going to be left behind?
Yes.
Specifically, what environmental factors affect whether or not a print is going to be left behind?
If it's a very warm day, most of the perspiration on your fingers is water. It can evaporate. So if it's a very warm day, you may not leave an impression behind. You may have very dry hands. The residue left behind could evaporate from the surface. If it's been raining, the residue could be washed away. Environmental factors like that can affect whether a print is left behind or not.
How about a surface? For example, if I get a hold of something that's made out of wood and I put my hands all over it, am I more or less likely to leave a chance or latent fingerprint behind? It's got a lot of holes in it. It's just a piece of wood.
I would say in that case, you're less likely to leave a latent print behind on a very rough, holey surface than a smooth, hard surface. If you think of a fingerprint as a rubber stamp, and think about if you ink up a rubber stamp and press it on a very rough surface, you don't get a very clear impression of that stamp left behind. A fingerprint is the same sort of thing.
What about movement? What if I'm, for example, going through something and I'm moving very quickly and I slide my hand against the surface like I did of the podium there? Am I less or more likely to leave a fingerprint?
You may leave a fingerprint behind in that circumstance, but you could be smearing the fingerprint and the arrangement won't be visible. It won't be very clear based on the movement.
So you get these fingerprints. Let's assume that you actually left them. How do you go about determining who's the person that left it behind? Let's say in this world where you have billions and billions of people, you don't know who the person was that left it behind. That's why you're checking. So how is it that you go about effecting an identification?
The methodology that we use to compare fingerprints, it goes by the acronym ACE-V. That's ACE-V. That stands for analysis, comparison, evaluation, and verification. In the analysis phase, what an examiner will do is examine the latent impression to determine its overall suitability for comparison. The overall ridge flow of that print. Can I tell if it's a finger or a palm? Can I tell the orientation of the print? How clear is the information? Is there a great deal of difficulty in distinguishing between the raised portions, which would be the ridges, and the furrows? We're looking for 3 levels of detail in a fingerprint. Level 1 detail is the overall ridge flow, and in the fingers will be pattern type. And we're looking for level 2 detail. That's called ridge characteristics. There's many other terms that can be used, such as minutia, Galton detail, things like that. That's going to be where a ridge is flowing along and abruptly ends. Call that an ending ridge. You also have ridges that flow along and then branch into 2 ridges, and that's called a bifurcation. So that's the second level of detail that we're looking at in the analysis phase. The third level of detail is pores. On the friction ridge surfaces, there are pores that exude sweat. The location, shape, and size of those pores is visible in some impressions. And the other part of third level detail would be the shapes of the edges of the ridges themselves. So in the analysis phase, we're looking for all of that information. It's fact gathering. We're looking to see, do we have level 1 detail? Do we have level 2 detail? Do we have level 3 detail? That's all with just the latent impression. Then we move to the known impressions or exemplars, and we're performing an analysis
Well,
of...
let me stop you there.
Okay,
What if you don't know who the person is? When you go out to a scene, you really don't know, correct?
that's correct.
So are you familiar with something called APHIS?
Yes.
What is APHIS is an acronym, correct?
It is.
And what does APHIS stand for?
APHIS is the Automated Fingerprint Identification System.
And without talking about the actual bank that's involved, I'm just talking about the machine. I don't want to know how the knowns go in there, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. Does this machine help you then make a comparison to other knowns that may be around? Yes or no?
Yes.
And what is the advantage of having the APHIS system as opposed to a human being sitting down and making this comparison?
The APHIS system is a searching database. So we're able to enter a latent print into the database, the first joint of the fingers and the palms, and it will create a mathematical algorithm and bring back 10 candidates that the computer believes are close to this latent impression. The examiner then is able to...
Well, then let me stop you then. Are you telling me that the advantage of APHIS is speed?
Yes.
Because it can go through thousands upon thousands of fingerprints within a very short period of time, right?
Yes.
And if any of them are similar, then it spits it out, right?
Yes.
But as an examiner, that's not an identification, correct?
No, it's not.
Because then that's when the human person comes in, right?
Yes.
And then the human person does what with those candidates that have been spit out?
The examiner initially views the latent and the known impression on the screen one at a time and determines whether or not they have a hit. If a hit is declared, then a known exemplar, that known exemplar will be obtained by the examiner, and a one-to-one comparison will be performed between the latent and the known. The examiner is the one who does that final comparison.
In our talk today, one of the things that we keep referring to is that the fingerprints, and we've been talking about that. How about palms, for example? Are palms also unique to individuals, or is it a situation where the only comparison that can be done is involving the fingerprints?
No. The arrangement of skin on all the palmar surface of the hands is unique.
And so once let's say that you have, does this APHIS system also have the palm prints in it that can be used or not?
Yes, it does.
When you look at a fingerprint and you're doing this comparison, are you then also able to orient it and find out what part of the hand is involved, whether it's one of the fingers or in the palm? Can you do that?
It depends on the quality of the latent.
Well, let's assume it's a great quality, the best quality you ever had. Can you do it then?
In many cases, yes.
And if you have the palm, you can tell what part of the palm it is then, right?
If there's enough information in the palm, you can use those to help determine where the latent is from.
So in other words, are you saying that if you have a palm print, you cannot tell what part of the palm print it is? What part of the palm it is?
There are latent impressions that are palm prints that are very clear that you cannot tell necessarily where it originates from.
On the hand? On the
Yes,
palm?
correct.
But there are some that you can then, right?
Yes,
So that's part of what you do then, correct?
that is part of
Is
yes.
that done out at the scene or is that done somewhere else?
The entry of latents into APHIS and the comparison of prints is done in the lab.
And so the gathering of these latent fingerprints, how is that done out at the scene?
A majority of the processing that we'll do at a scene in order to collect latent prints is done with powder and lift tape.
And the others, which indicates that there may be others, what are the other processes that are out there?
There is some chemical processing techniques that we can use at the scene, depending on the type of residue that we believe a latent impression may have been left in.
In this particular case, for example, was black powder the only method that was used at the scene to attempt to gather latent prints?
No, it was not.
Why don't you tell me what those other processes were in this case?
Leucocrystal violet,
And what is that?
that is a chemical that reacts to the heme in hemoglobin to stain a dark purplish blue color if it comes into contact with it.
And what is the advantage of that? What is the advantage of this leucocrystal violet?
Leucocrystal violet, or LCV, does not react with the regular constituents of fingerprint residue. So if there's an impression that I believe is left potentially in oils or fats or lipids, that sort of thing, I would not use leucocrystal violet. Leucocrystal violet would be used to search for potential impressions that are left in blood, for example.
So the value of leucocrystal violet is that the print may have been left in a medium other than, for example, sweat or oils or something like that, correct?
That's correct.
And in the way you sort of seem to say it, it's specifically designed when you believe that perhaps the print is left in blood.
That's correct.
In this case, also again, as part of going to the scene, lifting fingerprints and that sort of thing, do you do anything with the evidence or items that are going to be taken back to the lab for future examination, whether they be latent fingerprints or whether they be anything else?
Yes, all items of evidentiary value are photographed and then collected by me, which are then in turn impounded into our evidence section.
It would seem to me, though, that if you have all these items of evidence out there, and if you're just photographing them and collecting them, that you're not going to know where you found something. So, for example, if there's some shoes over there, there's a gun over there, how are you going to know which is which?
The way in which we will document evidence to be collected is it will be marked typically with an identifier, such as a number. We have what we call placards. They look like small plastic tents that have numbers on them. And we will typically put those next to an item of evidence, photograph it with that placard to document how it will be identified later.
That's with regard to items that you can take. What about if there's an item, one of the things that we've been talking about is latent fingerprints or blood smears, that sort of thing. How is it that, do you also put a number by those, or do you put a different sort of designation so that you know that what you have is something that you didn't take, but you took a sample of?
Certainly, in some cases, a different type of identifier will be used. In this case, I used letters for those things that were photographed that could not be collected directly.
Let me show you an exhibit. You recognize exhibit 249?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
That is a diagram of a portion of the scene that I responded to.
Which portion of the scene are we talking about?
It appears to be the master bedroom.
When you say
And
it appears,
bathroom.
it sounds like you're not sure. Are you sure or are you not sure?
Yes, it is. It's the master bedroom, closet, and bathroom.
Is this a true and accurate depiction of the scene as it existed when you were there and you conducted your work?
Yes, it is.
And how long were you there conducting your work?
We spent over 3 days at the crime scene.
When you say we, it's sort of a royal thing. I'm not interested in what others may have done. How long were you at the scene? Because that's who really is testifying.
3 days.
All right, and there were others that were there with you, correct?
Yes, there were.
Were there also technicians there with you?
Yes.
And who else would have been there with you assisting throughout this thing?
In what capacity?
In any capacity?
There were several detectives there at various times, officers. There was members of the biology unit of the Mesa Police Department and also another latent print examiner.
When you say the members of biology unit, what do they concentrate on?
DNA evidence.
And in this particular case, you can see that there's a variety of numbers here, and there's also red areas and body and that sort of thing. Is this a true and accurate depiction of all the items that were at the scene at the time that you were there during those 3 days in June of 2008?
Yes.
I move for the admission of exhibit 249.
Moment, Your Honor. None.
Exhibit 249 is admitted.
I think we may have already talked a little bit about this, but just get your view of it. This area. The area there where it says 44 and a 24. Do you see that there?
Not from here, I apologize, I can't see that.
This area here, do you see it here?
Yes, I do.
What is that area? Tell me a little bit about that area there.
That is the two doors. Those are the two doors leading into the master bedroom. And those are numbers designating items of evidence that were collected from those doors.
With regard to the doors, did you check, or anybody that you were supervising, did anybody check to see what type of lock that was involved in?
There is a photograph of that locking mechanism, and I have,
Okay. Now, after you walk in there and you take a look at this right here, what is this that's marked as 45? I mean, what are we looking at there?
45 is a piece of carpeting that was at the entry to the hallway leading to the master bathroom that had a large area of red staining on it that was collected.
And did you walk down that hallway?
Yes.
And as you walk down that hallway, where did it take you?
To the master bathroom.
And once in the master bathroom, where is the tub in comparison to the door as you walk in?
It would be to your left.
And is that where the body was found?
The body was found in the shower. That was to the left, yes.
And just to make it clear, they'd have both a bathtub and a shower, correct?
Yes.
Was the body found in the shower, I think is what you said, correct?
Yes.
All right, let's take a look at some photographs. Thanks, Steve. Take a look at exhibits 1 through 7 and see if you recognize what's depicted there. Do you recognize what's there?
Yes, I do.
And what areas do those photographs depict?
This depicts the entry and the front of the home that I responded to, the garage, and a portion of the laundry room of that scene.
Are those true and accurate depictions of those areas, again, as they were on the date that you responded and were there?
Yes, they are.
Move for the admission of exhibits 1 through 7.
No objection, Your Honor.
Exhibits 1 through 7 are admitted. So we're going to take a 5-minute recess. Actually, we'll make it a 10-minute recess. So ladies and gentlemen, be back in the designated area at 20 minutes till 3, and we will resume promptly at that time. Please remember the admonition. You are excused. FTR is not currently working. She's rebooting the computer, so we need to make sure it's working before we can proceed. Yes, you can take a recess. We are at recess. Let's bring in the jury. Yes, you may. Please be seated. The record will show the presence of the jury, the defendant, and all counsel. You may proceed.
It's Heather Connor.
Let's take a look at exhibit number 1. Judge, I don't believe the monitors are on.
Yes. Number 16. Can you move the diagrams to better people? Yes. The easel? Yes. Is that better?
What are we looking at here?
This is the front of the house.
And the exposure of the house, what direction is towards my pen this way?
North?
Okay, wouldn't it be that way, north, that way, rather than this way? Isn't this south? Let's continue looking at it, okay? Exhibit number 2. What is that?
That is another view of the front of the house showing the front door.
And it also shows a closer up of what?
The vehicles that are parked in the garage and driveway.
And how many are there?
3 total.
And exhibit number 3. What are we looking at there?
That is a photograph of the front door entry and the numbers of the residence.
And what's the address of the residence?
11428.
And what's the street?
Queensboro.
Exhibit number 4. What do we see there?
That is a photograph of the open garage door view into the garage and the 2 cars in that garage.
What kind of car is this, do you know?
A Toyota Prius.
And the color, given how glary this photograph is, what color was it when you were out there, do you know?
I believe it was black.
Okay. Exhibit number 5.
It's the rear of that Toyota Prius.
Okay. If you then look over here to the right, do you see what that is?
That is a doorway leading from the garage into the laundry room of the residence.
Then, and this right here is what?
It appears to be a garage door opener.
Okay, and this right here?
I don't know what that is.
You familiar with light switches?
Yes,
Does that look like it could be a light switch?
it appears to be.
And then if we, just shows us the rest of the garage and what's here, correct?
Yes.
And do you know what this is?
A bicycle?
Okay. Now, exhibit number 6 is what?
That is a view, a view of the laundry room that includes the washer and dryer that were inside that room.
And this door here, does that lead to?
That door leads to the garage.
And if we take a look at exhibit number 5, do you see this door here?
Yes, I do.
Are those one and the same doors?
They are.
Exhibit number 7 also shows us a door. Are you familiar with which door this one is?
I believe that is the same door we've been discussing from the laundry room to the garage.
When you say you believe, it sort of implies that you're not sure. Take a look at it. And then if we take a look at exhibit number 6, you see that same door?
Those are the same doors.
And is this then the door that leads out to the garage?
Yes, it is.
And what is this up here?
An alarm keypad of some kind.
Take a look at some more photographs. Take a look at exhibits 8 through 16. Do you recognize those photographs?
Yes, I do.
What do they depict?
These photographs depict the washing machine and the contents of that washing machine.
And again, were these photographs taken at the time of the investigation back in June of 2008 of this home?
Yes, they were.
I move for the admission of exhibits numbers 8 through 16.
Exhibits 8 through 16 are admitted. First of all, let's take a look at exhibit number 6.
That's the one that we just talked about. And what is this right here?
That is a dryer.
And this right here?
Washing machine.
All right. Exhibit number 8 shows us what? What are we looking at here?
That is a reddish stain that was on top of the edge of the washing machine.
Exhibit number 9, what are we looking at there?
That is looking at the same area of the washing machine, pulled back a little bit with some stickers to label and identify some stains seen on the washing machine.
Are these the reddish stains that you guys were looking at, or just stains generally?
Reddish brown stains.
There's a red number on there. Do you see that? I'm sorry, black. You see that?
Yes.
I thought in our previous discussion, we indicated that if it's something that you can't seize or that you take a swab from, that you actually would give it a letter. What's going on with these ones in black?
These particular stains were labeled by a member of the biology unit so that presumptive testing could be performed. I wasn't involved in these labels.
So in other words, these are labeled by somebody from the biology unit to see whether or not this was blood or something, right?
Correct.
Exhibit number 10 is a close-up of one of those ones, correct?
Yes, it is.
And if we bring it in a little bit closer, it has something to the side of it. You see that?
I do.
What is that?
The letter B.
So for example, then, if we go to the previous exhibit, there are 2 ones there. One would be either, well, we can look at it. We can see that they're labeled with letters also, correct?
This one is, yes.
And then if you take a look at the other one, doesn't seem to have a letter on there though, right?
It does not.
Exhibit number 11, what are we, let me give you a better view of that. What are we looking at there?
That is a photograph into the washing machine when the lid was lifted during the entry photos.
And there are some items in there, correct?
Yes, there are.
This is, no. Exhibit number 12. What are we looking at there?
That's a digital camera that was found inside of the washing machine.
And for the sake of completeness, is this the way the camera was at the time that you guys went into it and started taking photographs of it?
Yes, it was.
And you were there on what dates?
June 10th, 11th, and 12th, and it ran into the 13th on the 12th.
All right. Exhibit number 13. What are we seeing here?
That is another photograph of the contents of the washing machine, now with those evidence placards that I discussed to identify items that were going to be collected.
Right? 39 is what?
39 is all of the contents of the washing machine with the exception of the camera.
So this is all the clothing articles, and 38 is the camera.
That's correct.
And exhibit number 14? Is that just a different view of how the items are placed in there?
Yes, it is.
In just looking at this, and you were there, and that's the reason why I'm asking, it doesn't seem like this is a full load, does it?
Objection, Councilor Speculation.
Overruled.
It didn't appear to be full, no.
Exhibit number 15, what are we looking at there?
That is a photograph of the camera after it's been removed from the washing machine and placed on butcher paper in order to take additional vantage viewpoints of that camera.
And exhibit number 16 is what?
A top view of the camera.
Let's take a look at exhibit number 214.
No, thank you. This is a digital camera.
And is this the digital camera that we see pictured in exhibit number 16?
May I refer to my report, Your Honor, in order to refresh my recollection?
Yes, you may.
Your Honor, she's going to refer to any documentation like that marked as an exhibit.
I agree. And take a look at exhibit 276 and see if that helps you out.
Thank you. This is the same camera that is depicted in the washing, was collected from inside the washing machine.
But inside of that plastic is something else beside the camera, right?
Yes.
Do you know what that is?
Looks like power cords of some kind.
Right, but as far as you're concerned, the only thing that was taken from that washing machine is the camera that's in that exhibit, correct?
Yes.
I may have it back. Judge, I would move for the admission of exhibit 214 with the exception of this power device or maybe the camera taken or this power cord taken out.
No objection.
All right, exhibit 214 is admitted, and it will be repackaged without the power cord.
Correct. Do you know whether or not there was what is known as a SIM card attached to this thing?
There was a memory card inside of the washing machine that was also collected.
Okay. Please take a look at exhibit number 215. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
What is it?
This is the memory card that was collected from inside the washing machine.
And you were the one that actually packaged it, I guess, correct?
When it was originally in the envelope, yes.
I move for the admission of exhibit 215.
No objection, Your Honor.
215 is admitted.
Let's take a look at this. Exhibit 215. And what we're actually looking at is this square or rectangular blue thing, correct?
Yes.
It's not. Do you know the dimensions of this? Or is it just very small?
It's small.
Let's take a look at exhibit number 220. You recognize that?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
This is what I labeled as a digital camera door that was found at the bottom of the washing machine and was collected.
Was this after the clothing had been removed?
Yes.
I move for the admission of exhibit number 220.
No objection, Your Honor.
220 is admitted.
Take a look at this one. And then this is the item that you collected right here, correct?
Yes, it is.
Let's take a look at exhibits. Seventeen through 25. You recognize what's in those photographs?
Yes, I do.
What do they show?
They show the items that were removed from the washing machine as item number 39 laid out. It also shows additional items of evidence that were identified to be collected with evidence placards and the contents of the dryer.
With regard to item 39, what was that?
That's all the clothing items that were in that washing machine.
Okay. I move for the admission of exhibits numbers 17 through 25.
No objection, Your Honor.
Exhibits 17 through 25 are admitted. Go ahead and take a look at these. Exhibit number 17. We see the placard 39. What is this up here?
It's a towel,
All right, and directly underneath it, what are those?
socks.
And to the left?
Those are also socks.
Okay. It does seem that, do you see this part up here on the towel?
I do?
It does seem that the towel is a bit discolored, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Exhibit number 18, is that the same towel?
Yes, it is.
And it shows this other end here, right?
Yes.
What is this right here?
It's a t-shirt or a shirt of some kind.
Do you know what this is right here? I know the glare is bad, but
I don't recall specifically the particular clothing items that were contained.
and exhibit number 19. Do you know what these are right here?
Underwear,
And this,
another shirt.
and these right here.
They appear to be shorts.
Take a look at exhibit 216. You recognize it? Here.
They appear to be all those items in the photographs.
Again, when you say they appear to be, scissors, why don't you go ahead, open it up. Take a look at what's in there, and then tell me if this is in fact your item 39, okay?
Yes, this is item 39.
All right. I move for the admission of exhibit 216.
No objection.
Exhibit 216 is admitted.
Let's take a look at it. Where do you want to put it? Start with the top. Does have some spots on there, right?
Yes, it does.
Are you familiar with what bleach is?
Yes, I am.
What is bleach?
It's a liquid that we use to clean clean various things.
And do you know what bleach does to an item that has color to it?
It will take that color out and cause spotting.
With regard to the towel, is that consistent with bleach being added to the load?
Objection calls for speculation.
You may answer yes or no, overruled.
Yes.
Okay. Take a look at the other items. What is that?
A t-shirt?
Do you know what size it is on there? Take a look at it.
It's marked medium.
And does it also have some spotting there?
Yes, it does.
Let's see what else we have there. Those are the shorts or underwear.
Yes.
What else? All right, what else do we have?
pair of shorts.
Let's see what else we have in that bag. What is that?
A t-shirt.
Okay, what else? Let's start with one sock. You have a blue sock in your left hand, right?
Yes.
Okay, next. What color sock is that?
Mostly gray.
Does it have any spotting on it?
Yes, it does.
All right, what else do we have? What is that?
A black sock.
Go ahead. Another sock?
Yes.
All right, what else? Is that a sock?
It is.
All right. Is that another sock?
Yes.
And?
Another sock.
And that's also another sock, correct?
Yes, it is.
Are those all the articles of clothing you have?
No, they're not.
Okay, what else is there? What is that?
This is a pair of pants.
Are you familiar with the term sweatpants?
Yes.
Would that be what that is?
Yes.
What size are they? If you can inside for us.
They're marked men's large.
Anything else in that bag? And what is that?
A t-shirt.
And what's the size on that t-shirt?
Large.
All right, probably have that item back. Let's take a look at another exhibit. It's exhibit number 20. And if we take a look at, first of all, exhibit 37, what is that? Or item 37, not exhibit 37, I apologize.
That is the memory card that was originally in the washing machine and then was collected as item 37.
And it's, what was the color of that memory card?
From my recollection, it's blue.
Okay. And then we have some numbers here, 40 and 41. First of all, this appliance to the right is a what?
That's a dryer.
And now we have a close-up, exhibit 21, of those items as in relation to the dryer, correct?
Yes.
And what is item 40?
40 is a piece of duct tape that was found on the floor in the laundry room.
And exhibit 22 shows us a close-up of that, right?
Yes.
Exhibit 23 is the SIM card that we've been talking about, right?
Yes, it is.
And exhibit 24 is a close-up of that, right?
Yes.
Now, exhibit 25 are a bunch of items, right?
Yes, it is.
And they were in the dryer. Do you know what was in the dryer?
Bedding items.
Do you have the exhibit up there that will tell you what was in there?
Yes, I do. I have it labeled as bedding items.
All right, so let's take a look at exhibit 36 through, I'm sorry, 28, I apologize, 28 through, well, let's do it this way, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 26.
Yes, I do.
What is it?
Those are photographs of the items from inside the dryer, as well as a photograph of them inside the dryer.
And are these true and accurate depictions of those items back when the investigation was conducted in June of 2008?
Yes, they are.
I move for the admission of exhibits numbers 26 through 30.
No objection, Your Honor.
Exhibits 26 through 30 are admitted.
Take a look at exhibit 26. What are we looking at there?
That is a view of the contents of the dryer and the items that were going to be collected as item 41.
Exhibit number 27, what are we looking at here?
That is a overall photograph of all of the contents of 40, of the dryer that were to be collected as 41, laid out, separated.
And exhibit 28? What are we looking at here?
A portion of the contents of the dryer.
I'm sorry, 29?
Those are additional contents of the dryer.
And finally, number 30, what is that?
That is also something removed from the dryer.
Take a look at exhibit number 212. You may want to just leave it on the side, but you recognize what's in there.
Yes, I recognize this.
What is it?
This is the, all the contents of the dryer as collected as item 41, I believe.
Which, take a look. It is item 40.
It's, excuse me, it is item 41.
Oh. Do you need more gloves to open it and get into that?
If we're going to put them out, I would like some additional gloves, please.
Okay.
Would you like me to cut this open entirely?
Just enough so that we can pull the items out and see them. What is that?
A pillowcase?
All right, what else do we have?
Is it all right to lay them directly on the desk as I pull them out, or would you like them put back in the bag?
If you feel comfortable, put them on the seat of the chair, how about that?
All right.
And what is that?
A pillowcase.
All right, next. And that?
It's another pillowcase.
That is what?
A towel.
Okay. What are those?
A pair of pants.
Do they have a size on them?
Yes, they do.
Okay. What size is that?
Size large.
Next. What is that?
An additional pillowcase.
And that?
It's another pillowcase.
Last, is that the last item in there?
No, it's not.
All right, what is that?
This is a bed covering of some sort with buttons.
Okay.
So,
Okay, what else is in that exhibit? What is that?
a fitted sheet.
Anything else? Left? What is that?
A flat sheet.
And that?
Another pillowcase.
And I believe that's all that you have in there, correct?
Yes, it is.
I'm putting everything up. Ma'am, let me show you exhibits 31 through 46. And do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
What do you have there?
These are photographs of a portion of the downstairs of the house to include the laundry room, office, and downstairs bathroom, as well as items inside those rooms.
And are these true and accurate depictions of the scene as it existed back then in June of 2008?
Yes, they are.
Move for the admission of exhibits 31 to 46.
Exhibits 31 through 46 are admitted.
Start with Exhibit 31. And what are we looking at here?
That is another view of the laundry room from the vantage point of the doorway leading into the garage, into the corner.
What is this door here? Is this the door leading to the garage, or is that the door leading somewhere else?
That door leads into the house,
Okay.
further into the house.
And Exhibit 32, what is this?
That is the view into the laundry room through that doorway that we've just discussed.
Where is the doorway leading to the garage in this photograph?
If you were to enter through that doorway, it would be to your right.
Okay. 33. This area here, what is this back here?
That's the laundry room.
And what's to the left here, do you know?
There is a closet and a doorway leading to an office space,
And to the right here, what's there?
a bathroom.
Do you know what this item is here? If you know.
It looks like a punching apparatus of some kind.
Exhibit 34, first of all, in the corner here, what is this right here?
That's the doorway leading from the house into the laundry room.
And this right here?
That is the entryway into the office space.
Exhibit 35. First of all, we look, what is this right here?
The laundry room,
And here?
the office space.
Exhibit number 36. What is that?
That's the view of the office space from the doorway.
Exhibit 37 is what?
A different view in the office space from a different corner of the room.
Exhibit number 38. What are we looking at there?
That is the desk in the office space, and there are items marked with evidence placards in that photograph.
This up here, what is that up here? Do you see that white item there?
It's a closet door.
Exhibit 39. What do we see here?
That is a photograph of the item that was collected as item 35LB, and it's a check.
Take a look at exhibit number 222. You recognize it?
Yes,
What is it?
this is the box, including the check that was collected as item 35.
Okay. Move for the admission of Exhibit 222.
No objection.
Exhibit 222 is admitted.
Let's take a look at that. First of all, what is the date on it?
5/25/08,
And what's the amount of the check?
200.
And who's the person, what's the account? What's the name holder on the account?
Jodi Arias.
It does have an address. Can you read that address or not?
I can.
What is it?
9634 East Nido Avenue, NIDO, Mesa, Arizona, 85209-2243.
And the person that it's made out to?
Travis Alexander,
And what's the amount of the check? I think you already,
200 cents.
and what is it for? Can you see what that's for?
The notes section indicates car payments dash April and May 2008.
And is it signed? Yes or no?
Yes.
Exhibit number 40 is what? What are we looking at here?
That's an additional view of a different corner of the office space from a different vantage point.
Exhibit 41, what do we see here?
That's the final corner of the office space, and you're seeing the entry doorway from where the photographer's standing.
If we were to take a right, where would we be headed towards?
Out of the door,
Right.
you'd be headed towards the living area and kitchen if you went to the right.
If we were to go left, where would we be going?
The laundry room.
Exhibit number 42 is what?
That's a photograph of the downstairs bathroom from the doorway.
Is that straight across from that door that we just saw?
Essentially straight across, maybe a bit to the left and across.
And exhibit 43 shows us what?
Another view of the inside of that downstairs bathroom.
Exhibit 44, what are we looking at there?
That is a labeled stain that was tested by our biology unit.
And that has a number 3 by there, right?
Yes.
Exhibit 45 is what?
That's a view of a stain, a reddish brown stain inside of the sink in that downstairs bathroom that was tested by the biology unit.
And exhibit 46 shows us what?
That's a close-up of the stain from inside the sink of the downstairs bathroom.
Let's take a look at exhibits 47 through 61. are they?
These are photographs of the remainder of the house, the downstairs portion of the house, the staircase leading to the loft upstairs, and the stairway itself.
All right. And again, are these true and accurate depictions of when you were out at the scene back in June of 2008?
Yes, they are.
Move for the admission of exhibits 47 through 61.
No objection, Your Honor.
Exhibits 47 through 61 are admitted.
See what we have here, exhibit number 47. Okay, what are we looking at here?
That's a view of the dining room, living room area, and the hallway that led down to the office space, laundry room, and downstairs bathroom in the far portion of the photograph.
And what is this right here?
That's that punching apparatus that was in near that hallway.
Number 48?
That's a view of the front door from that dining room, living room area.
Where's the laundry room door from here?
It would be to my left, where your pen is leading. Yes, that direction.
And I guess we'll ask about this 48. What is this right here?
A floor cleaner of some kind.
'49?
That's a view of the entry room and the front door.
And what are these items here, do you know?
They're metal grids of materials that are linked together by those round pieces.
Okay. Exhibit number 50 is what?
You're seeing a view of the kitchen from the area that had the couches near the dining area.
Okay, and what's this right here?
That's the staircase.
Exhibit 51, do we see that same staircase?
Yes.
Is that right there?
Yes, it is.
Exhibit 52. What are we looking at there?
That's a view from the hallway that you would enter from the front door, looking into the dining, kitchen, living area, and the beginning of the staircase.
And these things right here, what are those?
those metal grids similar to what was shown in that entry area.
But those are not aligned in any way, right? In other words, they're not put up.
No.
Exhibit 53, now what are we looking at?
You're seeing a view down the hallway towards the laundry room, office space, bathroom, as well as a portion of the staircase to show their relationship to each other.
And this is the staircase right here.
Yes, it is.
Exhibit 54. Shows us what?
That is a view of the staircase and what you see from the bottom of the staircase.
Exhibit 55 is what?
A view from about halfway up the stairs, slightly more perhaps.
Exhibit 56 is?
That is showing a small possible fiber piece of fabric that was collected as an item of evidence.
Exhibit number 57, that is what?
That's a close-up of that item that was identified as an item of evidence and collected later on.
Now number 58, what are we looking at here?
That is a view from a corner of the loft that is at the top of the staircase. It's showing the area where the staircase ends and the entry into the master bedroom.
And is this the master bedroom door?
Yes.
Exhibit number 59,
That is showing a black bag that was identified as an item of evidence to be collected in the loft.
are you familiar with exhibit number 231?
Yes, I am.
What is it?
This is the item that I collected as item number 24LB. It's the doorknob from the right door of the master bedroom double doors.
Okay. I move for the admission of exhibit number 231.
The objection.
None, Your Honor.
231 is admitted.
Take a look at this exhibit and describe the locking and unlocking mechanisms of this door appliance.
The unlocking mechanism is a key hole.
Okay?
The locking mechanism is a flat piece that's turned.
Which one was on the inside and which one was on the outside of that door?
The inside was the locking mechanism, which has the flat piece that turns, and the exterior doorknob was the one that has the unlocking key mechanism on it.
So in order to get into that room, if it had been locked from the inside, would a person need a key?
Yes.
And in order to lock it, if you were inside, would a person need a key or would they just need to turn the knob or the item there?
A key would not be necessary.
So does that mean that the person could just turn the little knob there or bump or whatever and close it from the inside and lock it?
Yes.
In exhibit 231, the item that we're looking at here, is that the inside or the outside?
It was the interior doorknob.
And you're talking about turning, this is what you would turn, correct?
Yes.
To lock it. And this portion of it right here, is that the inside or the outside?
That was the exterior side of the doorknob.
And that's the one that would require the key, correct?
Yes.
Exhibit number 60 is what? What are we looking at there?
That is a closer view of that black bag from the loft that was collected as item 31 LB.
And exhibit 61? What is that?
That's a view of the contents of that black bag.
Take a look at exhibit 213. Do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
This is the black camera bag that was collected as item 31 LB.
All right. I move for the admission of exhibit number 213.
No objection.
213 is admitted.
Do you want gloves for this or not?
I'd prefer gloves, yes.
I'll get them for you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I assume I'm opening
Sure,
this.
please. And open it out. What is it that we have inside? Open it.
There's a strap, a lens attachment of some kind. That appears to be everything.
All right. You can put that in there. Let's take a look at exhibits 62 through 72. You recognize those?
Yes, I do.
What are they?
These are photographs of the entry into the master bedroom itself, the master bedroom closet, and a portion of the bathroom in the master bedroom.
I move for the admission of exhibits number 62 through 72.
Council Exhibits 63, 64, and 68 have already been admitted.
That's correct. That's what we were talking about.
Yes, sir. No objection to those photos previously not admitted being admitted.
All right, 62 through 72 will be admitted.
Let's take a look at photograph, which is number 62. And what are we looking at here?
That is the view into the master bedroom from the doorway.
And we've taken a look at the lock or the door handle, haven't we, before?
Yes, we have.
Exhibit number 65 shows us what?
A view of the bedroom, the master bedroom,
And specifically what?
the bed, and one of the sides of the bedroom.
In this one, we see that the bedding, if you will, is crumpled up on the bed. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Is that the way the bed was found when you
Yeah.
were there?
That was how it appeared when I was there, yes.
66 shows us what?
That's another view of the bed from the opposite side and more of the bedroom itself.
And what is this right here?
That is a doorway leading, one of the doorways in the master bedroom closet.
So where does it lead to? Is there more than 2 doors from the bedroom going into the bedroom closet?
No, that's the doorway from the bedroom to the closet.
All right. Exhibit 67, what are we looking at there?
That is a view from inside the master bedroom of that doorway from the bedroom to the closet, the entryway to the hallway that leads down to the bathroom, and the door into the master bedroom.
Exhibit 69 shows us what?
That is a view of the interior of the master bedroom closet from that doorway from the bedroom into the closet.
And what is this right here?
That is a doorway leading from the master bedroom closet into the master bathroom.
While you were there, did you notice whether or not there was any blood in this area here, in the master bedroom closet?
I did not see any blood in that area or
And-
red staining.
And if it had been there and marked, would you have photographed it?
Objection, this is a print exam.
What was the objection?
It's outside her scope.
Overruled. You may answer.
Can you please repeat the
If it
question?
was, if there was a stain that was marked there, would you have photographed it?
Yes,
And were you the person that actually looked for these stains or not?
I was not.
Okay. But you would have photographed anything that was marked there, correct?
Yes.
Number 70. What do we see here?
That's a deeper view into the closet from that same vantage point, showing some of the contents.
And this right here?
That is the doorway leading into the master bathroom from the closet.
And if we look down here, what is this area here?
Carpeting inside the closet,
Okay, and this right here?
that's tile in the bathroom.
Exhibit 71, if we start at the top, what are we looking at here?
That is a view into the master bathroom from the doorway in the closet leading into the bathroom.
And this right here is what?
Carpeting,
And right here?
tile,
And then if we go back here, what is this area here?
The vanity and sinks from within the master bathroom.
And this right here, what is that?
A door for a linen closet inside the master bathroom.
And this hallway that we've been talking about, take a look at exhibit number 67, told us about this hallway here. We take a look at exhibit number 71, where would the hallway be in relationship to this door, the sink?
It's to the right.
So it'll be right down this way.
That's correct.
Exhibit 72, starting here, what is this right here?
That is the door and doorway that is leading to the master bedroom closet.
And this right here is what?
A portion of that hallway we've discussed.
That what? I didn't hear you. I didn't
The
catch.
hallway that we've discussed.
Oh, okay. And this right here is what?
The door for the linen closet that's in the master bathroom.
Where does this hallway lead?
To the master bedroom.
And if we take a look at exhibit number 67, is this what you're talking about, the hallway that we just discussed?
Yes, it is.
And this right here is,
The bathtub in the bathroom,
and right here,
that's the shower.
and this,
That's the victim inside of the shower.
and this greenish, bluish,
I believe it's a robe.
take a look at exhibits 76 through 80, 82, through 87. What are they?
These are photographs of the victim, additional photographs of the bathroom, and some items from inside the bathroom.
And again, were they as they existed back in June of 2008?
Yes.
Move for the admission of exhibits 77 through 80, 82 through 87.
No objections, Your Honor.
Exhibits 77 through 87 are admitted.
Exhibit number 76. What are we looking at there?
That's a photograph of the victim inside of the shower and a plastic cup that was found in the shower with the victim.
Take a look at exhibit 230. Recognize it?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
This is that plastic cup from inside the shower.
It looks kind of black or dark. Is that mold or what is that?
This item was processed in the laboratory for latent prints.
And you indicated that there was a couple of processes that could be used, one of them being powder and the other one being leucocrystal violet, correct?
Those were types of processing that we do at a scene.
Right.
Yes.
But in this one, powder was used, right?
This item was brought back to the laboratory and was processed with a variety of different things.
All right. And were any results obtained?
I may refer to my report. No latent prints were developed on the plastic cup.
One of the things that you told us was that there were environmental factors that would affect whether or not an individual leaves a latent fingerprint. Do you remember we discussed that earlier?
Yes, I do.
With regard to water, if water is run on an item, will that affect the ability to later obtain a latent fingerprint?
It can, yes.
Why?
In some cases, if water is run over a surface, it may obscure that latent impression that was left behind. It could wash away the residue or something of that nature.
And how about if the person is turning the cup as they're doing whatever it is they're doing with it? Would that also affect whether or not they might leave behind a usable latent fingerprint?
How an item is handled will always affect whether or not a latent print is left behind or not.
I move for the admission of exhibit 230.
No objection.
230 is admitted.
Exhibit number 77, what are we looking at?
It's a lower view of the victim inside of the shower stall.
And what is this right here? Is that the wall, I guess is what I'm saying?
Yes, it's the wall of the shower stall.
And this is his right foot, correct?
Yes, it is.
Is that touching that wall?
Yes, it is.
How about the left knee? Is that also touching the wall?
Yes.
And if we look over here to the right, what portion of his anatomy is that?
It's his right knee.
Is that touching the wall also?
It looks like it is. I don't know specifically if it is or not.
If we go back to exhibit number 76, his head, correct?
Yes, it is.
Is that up against the portion of the shower there?
Yes, it is.
Now, exhibit 78, we're starting to see, first of all, the victim's body here, correct?
That is the victim inside the shower stall, yes.
And 2, 3, and 4, what are we looking at there?
Those were some hair and fiber-like materials that were found around the shower stall that were designated to be collected as items of evidence.
And exhibit number 79, we're also looking at this area here, right?
2 is actually just indicating the hairs that you see here on the floor.
Right.
But you can see the red staining in this photograph.
And this is, what is this, the trim right here?
Baseboard trim of some kind, yes.
And there's also some staining up here, correct?
Yes,
And there's also staining here.
yes.
Exhibit number 80 is what?
That's a fiber-like material that was found on the floor in the bathroom that was collected as item number 3LB.
And exhibit number 82, we're now looking at what?
You can see a small portion of the shower stall with the victim inside, the bathtub, and a doorway leading into what I called the toilet room. The toilet's contained in that room, there's a door, and then a portion of the bathroom to the right side of the photograph.
What's this right here?
It's a towel.
Take a look at exhibit number 228, see if you recognize it.
Yes, I recognize it.
What is it?
This is that same towel from the master bathroom.
Was there one or two towels there?
I believe there's only one.
When you say you believe, it means you're not sure. Why don't you go ahead and open it and take a look at it and make sure?
Okay. It's a single towel.
Why don't you hold it up for us? What's the exhibit number on it, please? It's the green tag.
228.
I move for the admission of exhibit 228.
228 is admitted.
Why don't you take a look at the label there on there and see what it says. If you could read that for us, please.
It says Bianca, B-I-A-N-C-A, concept by Mundo Textile, M-U-N-D-O-T-E-X-T-I-L, all one word.
All right. You could put it back in the container. This is the towel that you previously looked at, and it's from exhibit number 216 from the washer. Do you remember talking about that?
Yes, I do.
Why don't you read the label on this one for me?
It's labeled Bianca, concept by Mundo Textile.
Do at least the labels, are they from, do the labels match? How about that?
Yes, they do.
All right. And if we hold these two up, I'll hold this one here, and you hold the other one up. They seem to be a little bit different in shades, correct?
Yes, they do.
And also one is spotted and one is not, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Exhibit 83 shows us, first of all, what is this right here?
That's the victim inside of the shower stall.
And this is
The bathrobe.
and this right here?
Some staining or some material that was seen on the wall by the shower stall.
Exhibit number 84, we're looking at what?
That is a view of the bathtub inside the master bathroom.
And this room was what again?
I called it the toilet room. It's the room that contained the toilet in the bathroom.
And what is this right here?
That is red staining, reddish brown staining that was seen on the wall.
And
or door jamb.
I may have to show you the photograph because of the glare on this one. You know what this is down here? If you want, I'll bring the photograph up there.
That's a bath mat.
Okay. This right here, that's the bath mat, right?
Yes, it is.
Number 85, what are we looking at there?
That's another view of the same bath mat that we discussed.
And this right here on the left, what is that?
That is the door jamb of the entry into the toilet room with the red staining that we saw in the previous photograph.
And this right here is what?
More staining,
And down here on the ground is,
more reddish brown substance.
and this right here
It's also a reddish brown stain.
on the mat, correct?
Correct.
And this right here is what right there?
Additional staining.
The towels that we looked at, where are they in relationship to this staining right here where I'm pointing to?
The towel that is in front of me is directly above, maybe slightly further back from that. It's hanging from that wall in the
Okay.
photograph.
Exhibit 86. What are we looking at here?
That's a view of some of the staining on the walls and tile floor of the master bathroom, showing the entry into the toilet room, and you can see more of the bathroom itself.
And this up here?
That's this towel here.
Exhibit 87 is what?
That's a more mid-range close-up view of the reddish staining that's on the door jamb and some of the floor leading into the toilet room.
You see that right back there?
Yes, I do.
What is that?
More reddish brown staining that was on the bottom pedestal of the toilet.
Okay. I'm going to show you exhibits 88 through 116. Please take a look at those. Do you recognize what's in these photographs?
Yes, I do.
What do they show?
Those are photographs of the master bathroom, including staining, shows the sink area and the interior of the linen closet that's also in the bathroom.
Are they true and accurate depictions of the scene when you worked on it back in June of 2008?
Yes, they are.
Move for the admission of exhibits 88 through 160.
objection, Your Honor.
Exhibits 88 through 116 are admitted.
Start with 88, and we are looking at what here?
That's a view of the toilet inside of the room, the toilet room.
89, we're looking at what now?
That's showing the reddish staining that's on the pedestal of that toilet.
And that would be right there.
Yes, it is.
Number 90 is what?
A closer view of those stains.
And these are it right here, correct?
Yes, they are.
91 is, what is this here?
This is showing staining on both the tile floor and the wall. You can see the entry to the toilet room on the left side of the photograph, and that's the wall that would be along the side of the toilet room that we've seen in other photographs.
And this is this the wall where the towel is?
Yes.
And this is the staining that you're talking about?
Yes, that's correct.
And is this also a stain here on the left?
Yes, it is.
92, if we go to the upper right, what do we see up here?
That's this towel.
And
Point.
93 is what?
That is a view of one of the corners of the bathroom from around the area where the shower stall would be, from that direction to the corner of the bathroom.
And what is this right here?
The sinks within the bathroom.
94 shows us what?
Some of the floor in that master bathroom, the walls, the reddish staining, and 2 scales that were inside that bathroom.
95?
That is a mid-range photograph of one of the scales with placard number 15, because that item was collected as 15LB by me.
And number 96?
That depicts the scale and also what was beyond the vanity in the bathroom containing the sink. So you can see a trash can and some staining near that scale.
And is this staining here too or not?
I don't recall.
97 is what?
That is a view of the vanity and sinks in the master bathroom.
And you found this was open when you were there, correct?
To the best of my recollection, yes.
98, what are we looking at here?
That is reddish brown staining and reddish brown substance that was inside and on top of the sink in the master bathroom.
99 is what? What are we looking at here?
That's another view of the right side sink in the master bathroom with staining. There's also scales in the photograph that were placed in order to do additional documentation photographs of that staining within the mirror and sink areas.
And 100 is what?
Another view of the same staining with the scales for reference.
And it also shows us the edge here, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And it does have red, does it have red staining on it?
Yes, it does.
There is something here on the upper left. What is that?
That is a letter marker D to indicate which area was photographed.
And exhibit 101 shows us what?
A closer view of the staining that would be within that D area or quadrant.
$102?
That's an overhead view of the sink on the right side and the staining on top of the sink and countertop.
This looks like a wipe pattern. Are you familiar with like wiping or not?
I don't do blood spatter
Okay.
interpretation. $103 shows us what now? A closer view of some of the staining on the sink.
That's actually inside the sink with the outlet valve there, right?
That's correct. It was both inside the sink and on top of the sink.
$104? What are we looking at there?
That's another overhead view of the staining on the sink and the vanity top with some scales and letter and number designators.
This bottle that's here, do you see whether or not it has any staining on it? Can you tell?
I see staining around it. I'm not sure if there's any on the bottle.
Take a look at exhibit 104 with your eyes.
Okay. It appears that there's staining on the bottle, yes.
But the bottle is not knocked over, right?
No, it's not.
And 105, we're looking at these patterns, whatever they may be, on a different portion of the sink, right?
Yes.
In terms of coloring, these on the left look a lot darker than the ones on the right, correct?
Yes, they do.
106 now, it's over to more to the right, and we see that staining there, correct?
Yes.
$107 is what?
That's a photograph of the staining on the sink from a different viewpoint. Shows the edge of the sink and some of the spatter inside of the sink running down.
Right here, is what we're
Yes.
looking at. 108 is,
That is a photograph of the staining that I designated D1. That area was swabbed and collected as a sample.
and 109, what is this right here?
That is the linen closet or closet that's in the master bathroom.
And this right here? See this right here?
That's red staining substance that's on the tile in the bathroom.
I want you to look at this box, and there you go. Can you see that box there?
Yes, I can.
Do you see this right here on the bottom of that box?
Yes, I do.
I know we can look at it, but you were there. Can you describe it any better than what our eyes are looking at?
It was a light gradient of red staining running up the box, what appeared to be running up the box.
And in front of it is this red, larger stain.
Yes.
And were these also stains here?
Yes, they are.
And while I have this of course is What's this white thing here?
That's the door to that closet
Alright.
in the master bathroom.
Do you know what this is right here?
Yes, I do.
I'm gonna bring it in a little bit. What is that?
That is a cartridge casing that was found on the floor in the master bathroom.
And did you seize that cartridge?
Yes, I
case?
did.
I want you to take a look at exhibit number 216. What is it?
That's the cartridge casing that I collected as number 1 LB.
I move for the admission of exhibit number 218.
No objection.
216, 18 is admitted.
When you packaged it, did you notice the caliber of it? Write down the caliber of it or not?
I documented what was written on the head stamp of the cartridge casing, yes.
And what was written on the head stamp of this cartridge casing?
WIN 25 Auto.
Do you know what WIN stands for? It may not be your area.
It's not my area.
Do you know what the 25 stands for?
I believe it's the caliber, but I don't work in firearms.
That's not your area. Okay. Let's look a little bit at a wider view of this. That's the casing. And then we've looked at this area here. I'm going to pan out a little bit more. And what is this right here?
That's the cartridge casing.
And this up here is,
The right side sink.
exhibit number 110 shows us what?
That's a closer view of the cartridge casing on the bathroom floor.
And it also shows us that there's what? You see this right up here?
There's red staining and red substance all over the floor as well.
And exhibit 111 shows us,
A closer view of the cartridge casing.
and this right here is just some red staining, correct?
Yes.
It may be stating the obvious, but I'm going to ask you, to the naked eye, to your eye, and you were there, is there any staining on the top of this casing that's in this red stain?
Not that I see.
See that?
It's a little blurry, but I still don't see any red staining on the top.
Exhibit number 112. Now what are we looking at here? Starting with this corner here, what is that?
That's the sink, or a portion of the sink pedestal.
And this down here is,
That's the cartridge casing, and it's photographed with evidence placard number 1.
and up here,
That's a towel.
and down here,
That's the hallway that leads from the master bedroom to the master bathroom or vice versa.
and right here.
That is the doorway leading from the bathroom into the closet.
Exhibit 113 is the staining and what?
A view, a mid-range view of item number 1, LB, with placard 1.
And it shows some staining there also,
It
right?
does.
114 is the placard and a close-up of the casing, correct?
Yes, it is.
Exhibit number 115 shows us the box, right?
Correct.
And then it shows us the items in the closet. Number 11, what is number 11?
It's a USB thumb drive that was a Targus brand that was collected from inside that closet.
A what now?
A USB storage device,
Okay.
thumb drive,
That was what number was that?
that was 11.
And what was number 10 then?
It's a prepaid legal services business card.
Okay. And now 116, what are we looking at here?
That is red substance staining that's on the floor in the master bathroom and hallway to the master bathroom.
And now are we headed into the master bathroom and bedroom now?
You're heading down the hallway towards the master bedroom and that, to the
Okay.
right.
Great, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take the weekend recess. You may step down, please return January 8th at 10:30. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there will be no trial tomorrow, Friday, no trial Monday, the 7th. You should also return on Tuesday, January 8th at 10:30. I know every day I ask you to follow the admonition. Page 13 of your preliminary instructions contains that admonition. Since we are about to recess for the weekend, I want to remind you of your obligations. It is your duty not to speak with or permit yourselves to be addressed by any person on any subject connected with this trial. If someone should try to talk to you about the case, stop him or her or walk away. If you should overhear others talking about the case, stop them or walk away. If anything like this does happen, report it to me or any member of my staff as soon as you can. You may not discuss the evidence among yourselves until you retire to deliberate on your verdict. Do not form any final opinions about any fact or about the outcome of the case until you have heard and considered all of the evidence, the closing arguments, and the rest of the instructions I will give you on the law. Keep an open mind during the trial. Form your final opinions only after you have had an opportunity to discuss the case with each other in the jury room at the end of the trial. All right, one more time, has anyone had any exposure to the media regarding this case? Anyone at all? I see no hands. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We will see you on Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. Have a nice weekend.